Most of what your favorite content creators have told you about getting rich in 2025 is a lie, simply because a lot of these content creators will tell you the way that they got rich is the best way while trying to offer you a course to make money from you. I am going to tell you right now, unbiasedly, what the best skills to learn this year are to get rich. You know it's going to be unbiased because I don't have a course or any kind of program that I'm trying to peddle to you. I'm literally going to share with you the knowledge and experience that I have and help you make a decision that will make you money this year. First on the list, we have SMMA. If you don't know who this guy is, then you don't know about SMMA, or you don't know enough about SMMA. SMMA is basically a social media marketing agency. This is very much so a widely spoken and very, very common, oversaturated business that is spoken about by probably, again, your favorite YouTuber or content creator. Can you still make money with SMMA in 2025? Yes, but it is incredibly oversaturated and it's not as easy as your creator or your favorite influencer makes out to be. As such, I'm gonna put it at I'll put it at okay. Next on the list, we have sales. Again, if you don't know who this guy is, obviously it's an actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, but the film that he's acting in, The Wolf of Wall Street, brilliant, one of the greatest films of all time about sales, and specifically the sales that I'm talking about in this video is going to be things like closing, remote closers, but also just I want to factor in sales as a skill on the whole. Can you still make money with sales in 2025? Absolutely. Will you always be able to make money in sales as long as time exists? Absolutely. Downsides is that, of course, it's quite a hard skill to learn. If you are introverted, you're going to struggle. And again, sales is one of those things where you are trading your time for money, but it's a life skill. If you are a business person or an entrepreneur, you will always be able to make money if you know how to sell. And so because of that, I'm going to put this in elite tier. I'm not going to put it in God tier, but elite tier. And actually what I'm going to do is have some revisions towards the end just to make sure that I'm happy with where everything is. But for now, I think putting sales in elite tier is very justified. Next up, we have TikTok Shop. So this is not just people who sell things on TikTok, but I've actually wanted to combine it with being what's known as a UGC creator, which basically is where you promote and you push products or you help people sell products on TikTok. I think this is a brilliant way to make money in 2025. Admittedly, it's not for everyone. TikTok is quite an intense platform, and getting people to convert on TikTok in and of itself is a skill. I think this is a very, very, very viable method in 2025. I don't think it's oversaturated, but you do have to be experienced with the platform and know what you're doing. And there are a lot of brands that are familiar with this, and it's not as niche as it used to be. Also, you do run the risk of TikTok itself being shut down, which we've heard enough about. However, I do believe that the actual skill itself is transferable across other social media platforms. And so because of that reason, I'm going to put this as a good way to get rich in 2025. Next up on the list, we have good old web design. So web design is something that's very close to my heart because it was one of the first businesses that I ever started. Again, I think something that is an okay skill to learn in 2025. Admittedly, a lot of people may be thinking now that AI completely changes the game, but there are some still human elements and human aspects to website design that AI currently, as of making this video, hasn't fully mastered yet. Do I think you can become a billionaire through website design? No, but is it a good way to make some money and build an income? Yes. Will it make you rich? It depends. It depends. Web design is something that's been around for a very long time. Similar to SMMA, it is quite oversaturated. But I see this more as like a side hustle and something that you can make money in any market for the time being. And so because of that reason, and again, I am a little bit biased here, I am going to put this as good. I may come back and revise that later on. As I said to you before, at the end, I'm going to provide my final revisions and then give you a take. Next up on the list, we have a personal favorite of mine, and that is Bitcoin. I'm just going to say it right now. I think this is one of the greatest opportunities to make money in our generation. I have made more money than I have with anything else so far in crypto. It is phenomenal. It has changed my life. I believe it will change a lot of people's lives, and I don't believe you're too late to get involved with this at this current moment in time. I will admit it does require a certain level of knowledge to know, and you can certainly, in the same way it can change your life for the good, it can also change your life for the worst. You can lose a lot of money. But I actually believe that the future of finance is going to be strongly related to cryptocurrency. And so for that reason, you could probably tell from my introduction, I am putting that as a god tier skill to learn in 2025. Next up on the list, we have Forex trading, or just trading in general. Now this, I have a love and hate relationship with trading. I actually did crypto trading as one of the things that I did with crypto, but I just don't like the industry because it's full of scammers. Trading, especially Forex trading as an industry, are full of gurus who have made more money selling people info products or selling people courses about how to trade than they have from actually trading themselves. And so you have a lot of people who either have very basic knowledge that they basically Googled or stole from someone else, or people that generally don't know what they're talking about but are able to sound and look like they know what they're talking about, selling you courses, claiming that they're going to help you make money with this thing. And honestly, 98% of the time, it never happens. If you find someone who is selling a Forex or trading course, I'm just going to tell you as it is, there's a very high chance you're going to get scammed. And so, do I believe that this is a good skill and that you can make crazy amounts of money with it? Absolutely. But I believe that most people that go into this industry have the wrong mindset. I believe that trading, especially Forex trading, is like learning to play a musical instrument. It requires time, it requires effort and energy, and it's not something that you're going to just be good at overnight. But again, people, when they go into this industry, they don't understand it. So for me, I am going to put this as okay. I'm tempted to put it as bad, but only because I've used this skill to make money, and I do know that it is a valid skill. That's why I'm going to put it as okay. But the scammers and gurus really just make my skin crawl. Next up on the list, we have social media management. Again, something that was very popular at one point that now has become more of a career field. I do still think that this is a skill that is viable in 2025 and you can make money with. But if I'm being honest with you, unless you have some sort of social media marketing agency, I don't really see you getting rich with this skill alone. However, similar to graphic design, similar to website design, graphic design is coming later, but similarly to website design, I think this is something that is a little bit of a side hustle, but it is extremely common. And if I'm being honest, anyone can manage social media pages. And so I'm going to put this one in bad. It's going to be our first bad. Now, quite a controversial take, I know, literally just because I think having a social media marketing agency is way more better or way more effective than just knowing how to manage social media. I don't think it's worth your time, to be honest, in this day and age. But if you are going to do it, I would say going through the route of a social media marketing agency at least would make it more worth your time. Next on the list, we have affiliate marketing. I have no idea who this YouTuber is, but I just saw this picture on Google and it did the job. Did the job, does the job, does the job. English. It does the job. Affiliate marketing, again, something that is still very much a buzzword online. In essence, it's a business where you make money referring other people to purchase products from a platform. Normally, most influencers will use this as an income stream, but for the average person, you're not really gonna make a lot of money with this. The only way you can really upscale it is through advertising or through having your own personal brand. And so I really don't think this is a good place to put your money or time or energy in 2025 unless you already have an established personal brand. And so for that reason, I am just gonna straight up put this in the worst, because it's a very niche thing that only applies to certain people or certain cases. Next up on the list, we have AI automation. Now this skill is phenomenal. I had a conversation with someone the other day and they asked me if I was to redo everything again and be maybe 16, 17 or 18 now, trying to get rich, what skill would I learn or where would I direct my education or studies towards? And 100% I'm here to tell you right now that one of those things, along with crypto of course and sales, would be AI automation. Now I have literally seen people go from making nothing to well over 10, 15, 20,000 pounds a month through utilizing AI automation. I've also seen individuals utilize AI and build businesses with AI-based services, offer them to businesses and make an absolute killing. This is without a shadow of a doubt one of the best skills to learn to get rich in 2025. And I think just in general, in future, this is going to be a very high value skill. And so yes, people can say AI is taking our jobs, but if you are wise, you'd actually learn how to use AI so that you wouldn't need a job. And for that reason, I'm gonna put this skill in elite. Next up on the list, we have copywriting. Now, I kind of have mixed feelings about copywriting, if I'm being honest with you all. If you don't know who this guy is, he's one of the greatest writers of all time. You should get to know him. I'm not gonna tell you who he is, but copywriting, yeah, can definitely make you money. Writing is an incredibly valuable skill and something that when done properly can be utilized to tell stories, present arguments, legal matters, all these things. It's a core skill. Fundamentally, when tied into some of these other skills listed here, it can be a very powerful tool. If I'm just being honest with you personally, I just don't hear of people really becoming incredibly rich, at least nowadays, with this skill. I think there are some gurus who really push this and promote this because that's part of the reason how they became rich, and they will sell you courses to teach you how to do it. And I do think it is a very good skill, but I just don't see it really tangibly being something that you can make money with or get rich with straight away. And so for that reason, I'm going to put it as okay. It's a bit small, but there we go. Next up on the list, we have good old Amazon FBA. Now, this was a business that I saw people in lockdown start and make a killing from. I do believe that it is viable still in 2025. However, I believe it's starting to become incredibly oversaturated. From what I know, and even from my experience doing drop shipping, FBA, these type of businesses, it's all about the product that you have, along with, of course, the marketing aspect. So getting it out there and finding people who actually want to buy the thing. And so there is two schools of thoughts. The most common one being you just do a bunch of research into finding the right product and it works and it sells and you make money. The other one being you use advertising to push a product and make money. I think Amazon FBA in 2025 is honestly okay. I'm definitely going to review some of these okays as the video goes on or towards the end and give you a final verdict, so stick around. Just to clarify, the reason why I put this as okay is because you can start it, you can learn Amazon FBA and you can make money, but again, it is incredibly saturated right now. I honestly think if you're interested in Amazon FBA, you would probably be better off trying to do TikTok shop or becoming a UGC creator, but that's just my opinion. Next up, we have good old video editing. Again, put simply, I think if this is something you're passionate about and something that you love, which I spoke about in my last video, then 100% I would rank this somewhere towards the top. But for the average person, you're more than likely just going to be doing this as a skill to make money. I will say that it is a great skill because we live in a world where everyone makes content and people don't have the time to be able to edit as much as they do other things. And so you can learn this skill and definitely make money from the jump. I'm going to put this in good just because you are still trading your time for money as a video editor. And so I can't put it any higher than good. Next up, we have YouTube, or being a content creator on YouTube. You guys are going to think that I'm capping when I say this, but it's the truth of the matter. I wouldn't put this as something that is a high skill. I do believe that it is something that when you crack and when you do it right can be a god level skill to have under your belt. But I believe the time that it takes the average person to get there, the ideation, the skills, the money, and the things required to really make YouTube work for you basically can become like a full-time job. And so unless you're passionate about the things that you're talking about, which I'm sure you can probably tell I am, I don't recommend getting into YouTube at all as a skill and as the best way to get rich in 2025. And so I'm gonna put this honestly as worst. Now, I know a lot of you guys are thinking, Alex, why are you doing something that's in the worst category on your best skills to get rich in 2025? And that's because you and I are at different stages of my journey. I am not necessarily focused on trying to get rich this year. However, I know many of you watching, this is going to be your goal and this is what this video is about. So I'm going to lay it down for you in layman's terms. And this is why you know that this video is going to be unbiased, because a lot of YouTubers will very much so inflate the things that they do and make it out like anyone can do those things to get rich. I'm making this tier list purely from a point of view of, if I was starting again today, what would be the best thing to do to get rich? And I'm telling you right now, YouTube is one of the worst. Next up on the list, we have running ads. Now, I again personally know people who run ads and make crazy amounts of money. I do, and again, this is just because of the people that I know in this space, think that right now it is definitely a viable way to get rich this year. However, I will say that again, it is starting to encroach on being a saturated market. A lot of people that do SMMA or social media management are expected to know some stuff about ads, and so it's not as niche and as profitable as it used to be. However, if you are good at it and you know how to market the service or business that you have, you can make a killing with running ads, especially if it's for a business, which is, I know, again, similar along the lines of SMMA and that kind of stuff. But I am going to put running ads as good, only because running ads I feel is a bit more versatile than just general social media management and having an SMMA business. Next up on the list, we have investing. This one, I'm not gonna lie to you, if you plan to get rich in 2025 and your plan is to get there just by investing, it's basically not gonna happen. I mean, there might be one person that proves me wrong, and I think in the long run, investing is a god tier skill to learn. In fact, I'll even say it's above that. It's a life skill. Everyone should learn about investing and be applying that in their life. However, if your main focus this year is to try and get rich, putting your money into a long-term investment or some slow building investment is not going to get you there. And so if you're trying to get rich in 2025 and you think that investing is going to do it, my friend, you are cooked. Next up on the list, we have school, which I'm going to use basically as having some sort of paid community. Now, this is something that definitely can make you a lot of money. I have seen, heard, and personally know of a crazy amount of people who have used school to make, or online communities to make, a lot of money. However, the drawback is you need to have people that want to join and be a part of the community, but also you then need to be providing value to the community to make it worth someone paying the monthly fee that you're going to charge them to join. And so I think that it's a good skill and definitely can get you rich in 2025, but I think the work and the effort that's required to put into this, as well as what's required to maintain it, because again, you have something called churn, which is basically where people leave and then people join. And so for a lot of people that run schools and different like communities or paid communities, the cash flow isn't steady. And so I am going to put this as, I'm going to put it as okay. I'm going to put it as okay. Next up on the list, we have Shopify, which I'm going to use as the logo for dropshipping. Dropshipping, again, a very popular, very oversaturated now business. It definitely had its time, and years ago, it was so easy to utilize this skill to make crazy amounts of money. Honestly, knowing what I know now, I wish that I'd have got in on this a lot earlier. But in 2025, trying to get rich through dropshipping is a bit of a mission. There's a lot of negatives involved. Similar to Amazon FBA, actually, it does revolve more around finding products. And again, a lot of your favorite online gurus are probably going to try and scam you with some sort of course that really doesn't help you make the kind of money that you want to make with this skill. And so for that reason, I'm going to put it in bad. Next up, we have graphic design. Okay, this skill is an interesting one. I do know of people who are making a living off this skill. However, it's one of those skills where you have to trade your time for money. And if it's not something that you love and you're passionate about, it can be quite laborious. The idea that yes, you can work remotely, similarly to graphic design, is great, but similarly to video editing is great. But I just don't think this is a great skill to get rich in 2025. You definitely will make some money with it though, but I would see it more as a side hustle. And for that reason, I'm gonna put it as bad, only because with video editing and some of these other skills, there's a lot more of an opportunity in a market for them. With graphic designers, a lot of companies will just hire their own employees, and trying to start some sort of business, which is really how you're going to get rich with graphic design, and getting it to work off its feet, off the ground, is going to be, a bit of an effort, a bit of a hassle. And in 2025, I just think there's a lot more better ways to do that. And finally, onto our very last skill of today, before I then do my final revision of all of these, just to make sure that it's happy and it's where I want it to be. I am going to put, this is the logo for Gumroad, but what this stands for is digital products. Now, digital products, I believe, are phenomenal. A brilliant way to get rich in 2025. And I think currently, again, a very good niche that even if you're not well known, even if you don't have a following, even if you're not someone that's an influencer, you can still make some money with info products. Admittedly, yes, it can be difficult to launch. You have to really get the products out there. You have to consider maybe marrying it with one of these other skills like Facebook ads or marketing and these type of things. And oftentimes social media is married with this skill to help drive traffic to make money. If you don't have traffic, you won't make money with digital products. However, it's something that's very low cost, relatively straightforward to do, and it doesn't require a whole lot of learning and understanding to get involved in. Just needs a bit of creativity and something that you know is worth value that people are willing to pay for online. You do have to be careful with this though, because you do get a lot of scammers and these type of things in this field where they will sell you very low effort things that they've repackaged from Google or from other websites. That being said though, I am going to put this in God tier, because when you get it right, oh, the money that you make with info products or digital products. And so now for my final revisions. Personally, I'm going to move Forex trading down into bad. Reason being, I just don't think the average person will be able to get rich with this skill this year. I just don't see that happening. Probably maybe next year if you're competent, maybe the year afterwards, but in 1 year, I don't think you really, like, the average person has what it takes to do that. It's possible, but they don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think aside from that, that was literally the only revision that I had to make. This is my tier list of the best skills to get rich in 2025. Please like and subscribe, and if you disagreed with anything that I did here, let me know in the comments below.
It's about drive, it's about power, we stay hungry, we do that, we put in the work, put in the hours and take what's up. Like it's a mo in my veins, my culture bang,